Yo guys, what's up? Welcome back to a brand new video here today and some more F1 2020 My Team Career Mode content. Today we are here for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix at Baku, and it's quite weird to think that this race is after Monaco, round number 8 of the season. Normally, of course, last season it was round 4. This season, if the season had gone ahead like usual, it would have been the race after Monaco, which is quite weird to imagine, to be fair, but either way, it is what it is. Here we are, and it's Baku time. And speaking of Monaco, if you have missed it, guys, I will leave a link up here in the top right hand corner of the screen. Go check it out if you want to. 110% AI cockpit view around Monaco, pretty damn challenging, especially with the car we've got at the moment, which is not very quick. So yeah, check it out, and yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the episode. But today we're here at Baku, so yeah guys, like, subscribe if you're new to the channel for more F1 2020 content, and let's get this episode underway. So here we are then on the laptop, kicking things off for the race weekend. As you can see, we are currently on the 4th of June, and we are approaching, the midway point of the summer. Mick Schumacher's contract does also expire soon, as we look at the weather forecast, and you can see it's nice sunny conditions here pretty much most of the weekend. Also, in terms of the R&D, we do have an upgrade this weekend for the aerodynamics, but still no real progress. Haas, Alfa Tauri all remain in front of us, and actually McLaren have dropped down quite a bit in this episode as they get overtaken by Alfa Romeo. So yeah, we now move into practice, and like I mentioned before, Mick's contract is running to an end. He's got about a month left, so we are going to have to consider whether we renew his contract or sign a different driver. So we need to kind of save up a little bit of money and save up a few funds as we now look at the kind of practice review. We had a pretty solid session, to be fair. Some decent R&D points were scored, and Mick is now pretty much level 6, I believe, or if not, he's just behind that. So he's about to level up, which is great. And as a team, we're also very close to leveling up, and hopefully we can achieve that here after this event. So yeah, let's jump into qualifying then, and let's see how we get on. So this was my first lap in qualifying, and it was my best one. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll get back to you once the lap is over. And here we are then now on the pit straight and waiting for the DRS to become available. And to be fair, it was a pretty okay lap. Like, I knew there was more time to be found. As far as bank laps go, it was okay. It was, decent enough. But I knew there was more lap time to be found as we set a 38.9 across the line. We do go faster than both of the Williams and Mick Schumacher, which is quite rare. We've only out-qualified Mick Schumacher once, and it was in the last episode at Monaco. So that was quite encouraging to see that my first run was already quicker than my teammate. My second run, I was down on the both first and second sectors, and we're now towards the end of the lap. And you can see we do find a little bit of time in this kind of last part of the track, but I could see from the delta he wasn't going to gain enough on the straight to actually set an improved personal best. So I decided to actually, at the last second, pull over and box and, abandon the run, because there's no point. I wasn't going to improve, so we may as well save the tyres and engine a little bit. We then move on to my final run, and this lap was perfect. The first sector and a half was absolutely phenomenal, and then we had a mistake. It really went wrong. We was 3/10 up, and I reckon there was another 2/10 to be found. I reckon minimum half a second could have been found in that one, but in the end we messed it up, and that was really, really bad.
Your qualifying pace didn't put you at the front of the grid. Will this be a problem tomorrow?
Obviously, as always, we want to try and qualify as high as possible, so yeah, it will be a problem, but we'll try and make do with what we've got.
How do you feel about this team's performance this season?
I think they've been pretty okay. I think more credit has to go to those drivers, especially, you know, people like George Russell. I think they're a great driver, and it helps them kind of push them up a little bit.
Appreciate your time.
But there we go then, qualifying is done. Unfortunately, you'll see the grid rundown now and the positions, but I reckon if we'd found that half a second, we could have actually got into Q2. We would have been really, really close. So the car's working well, that's the main thing, and there's a good chance we could have a good race here, I think, on Sunday. But as you can see in the Acclaim, Mick goes up to level 6, and we are now very close as a team to be level 8. But now let's move into the race here for round 8 of the season, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
Good afternoon and welcome to Baku. This was the arena, if you think back to 2017, of one of the most eventful races of modern history, with controversy behind the safety car, last-second overtakes, and a historic podium for Williams and for Lance Stroll. So let's find out what lies in store for us this year. It's time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. The Baku city circuit measures roughly 6 kilometers and is made up of 20 corners and 2 DRS zones. The circuit winds around the narrow city, through the old town, and even brushes against the city's medieval walls. However, as beautiful as the setting is, this track is also a ferocious technical challenge, where the smallest of mistakes could lead to catastrophic consequences for all of our drivers. And with me, as usual, is Anthony Davidson. Let's have a chat about McLaren. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Vettel, Leclerc, Alexander Albon, and Ricciardo, Verstappen, Stroll, Raikkonen, and Esteban Ocon, Perez, Giovinazzi, Carlos Sainz, and Norris, Grosjean, Magnussen, Pierre Gasly, and Daniel Kvyat, Schumacher, Martinez, Russell, and Nicholas Latifi. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
Right boys, so here we go, it's time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix starting from P20 here today, and strategy will be very key. As you can see on screen, I am going to try and start on the hard compound tyres and then move on to the mediums later on. On F1 2019, you could do mediums to softs. I feel like that's not possible. Tyre wear seems pretty high around here. So we're going to run the medium hard and run it very simple. A one-stop strategy. We should be pretty competitive on the medium tyres at the end, as I'm expecting everyone to be on the hard tyres in the final stint. So that should give us an edge. And to be fair, tyre wear is pretty similar between the medium and the hard anyway. So I'm going to go forward to it. No rain expected, and fuel-wise, we're running 1 extra lap. So let's jump into it. I actually feel low-key confident we could maybe score points. I mean, we should have had, I think, Q2 in qualifying, so I think there's a chance we could get something here today, but you never know. Let's hope for the best. Either way, it's now time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Right, here we go then, boys. Let's build up the revs. Let's see what kind of start we get as the lights are on. Lights out, and away we go. Oh, what a start. Let's go. Getting past a couple of cars early on. Looks like actually a lot of cars are on the hard compound tyres here, so looks like a lot of them are joining us on our strategy. Mick Schumacher on the soft tyres. What a start. He makes his way up into P17, so really good stuff there from my teammate. Yellow flag, of course, due to everyone just going really, really slow. We're going to try and traction up on these hard compound tyres and see if we can get a run on Magnussen here down towards this heavy brake zone. Everyone's going to just kind of bunch up here, so we're going to be careful. But this is a good start from us and Mick as well, so as a team is looking good. Like I said, a lot of cars running the hard compound tyre, so I kind of fancy Mick to get a few more places, I feel like. I think we've got some good pace in the car here this weekend. I've got the run on Magnussen here. Can we go around the outside and send it? I'm going to try my luck. Inside for the next one. It's getting very tight, very close. We tried to have a look, but there's no way through. Magnussen now goes defensive. There is no chance in hell I'm going to try and go for a 2 wide through the castle, so we'll back off for now. And we'll just kind of settle in behind the Haas driver as we almost hit the wall there, just like we did in qualifying. Right, I'm going to get my head down and try and find a bit of a rhythm on these tyres and see if we can get on with it and try and make a move on the Haas. To be fair, Magnussen has dropped off a little bit, so if I can get close enough, I might be able to pass him on the pit straight. We're gaining on Magnussen here. I'm trying not to use overtake. I used quite a bit of it at the start of the straight. Now we're going to turn up the engine. Here we go. Can we go for a move on Magnussen? Down the inside we go on the brakes. It's a late one, bit of contact in the process, but we do make a move and go through. Kvyat now trying to get a move on us down the inside of turn 2, but we'll hold them off nicely. And there we go. That was a big old dive on Magnussen there, but we made it count. Slight bit of contact, but crucially we didn't go off the track, so it was a relatively fair pass. At the moment the pace is looking okay, nothing spectacular, but we're doing better now in clean air, that's for certain. Mick did try to put a move on Lando on that last lap, but Lando managed to hold on, and he's actually now got past Pierre Gasly now, so Mick is getting stuck in, but he's not making any major progress. I thought he would have made a few moves by now, but hopefully we can get a bit closer and see if he makes any more progress. These guys are battling so heavily here, losing so much time. There's another 3 car scrap a bit further up, but we're now right behind our teammate here. And all the cars behind are also going to follow us, so we're all going to bunch up here at the back. This pit straight could be key. We might be able to pull off a bunch of moves. So let's see if we can make something happen. We have got the Mercedes power unit in the back of the car, which is better than most of the cars around us here. So we should be able to have a chance as well in terms of having the power and the grunt to get by on the straight. Right, we're going to see if we can get a move done here. A little bit of overtake just to stay close, going through the little left-right chicane. And now we're going to wait for the DRS. A little bit more overtake mode just to kind of stay tight and get close. We'll run that down to 60%. There we go, DRS. Looks like Gasly's struggling with the Alpha Tauri with the Honda power unit. We're going to close up quite a lot on him here. Down the inside we go. Getting sideways down the braking, but we get it done. Crucial move again there. Bit of a late one, just like with Magnussen, but this time no contact. We kept it a bit cleaner. And we're through and ahead of one of the Alpha Tauris now. To be fair, both of them now, Kvyat and Gasly, both behind me, and they're both on the hard compound tyre, so it's looking pretty good. And Mick is making progress as well. Let's try and follow him, see if he can kind of punch a hole in the traffic and give us the opportunities to make some overtakes. Okay, cars in the pit lane. Ricciardo and Leclerc. That's an early one, to be fair. Looks like there could be 2 stopping, so that's interesting because they're going to be behind us in net position terms. So that could be quite tasty. They're going to have to make a lot of overtakes, those guys, and get ahead of a lot of traffic. So this race could be opening up. Schumacher 14th now, and I'm 15th. Looking pretty good. Albon out of the race as well. Yellow flag. Ooh, that's tasty. Then again, I can't pit for mediums, unless there's a safety car maybe, and take those to the end. That's a long way to carry the medium tyres. Looks like we're not going to get anything for it. Albon's pulled over safely into the escape road, but there we go. We're now up to P14 and Schumacher now 13th. I'm liking this. The race is slowly going our way. Right, I'm going to get a move on Mick here because he's struggling to catch up to the cars ahead. I feel like his soft tyres are starting to fade, so we're going to crank it up. We're going to use the engine power and make a move on our teammate here. We now wait for the DRS for good measure. There we go. We'll turn off the overtake mode. We don't need it anymore, and we're now up to P13. Hopefully Mick can follow us along. More cars in the pits. Oh, I've run in a bit hard on the brakes there. We do just about get it slowed down, but that's cost me quite dearly. Mick trying to go for the re-overtake, but crucially we stay in front. And a few cars actually, some of the leaders have actually rejoined ahead of us, which is not ideal, but the massive train of cars in front, oh my goodness, I mean, there's so many cars, there's like 7 cars there, as we're now P11 in this race. Let's see if there's any more cars in the pit lane this lap. Yeah, we've got 1 more, actually 2 more to be fair, Verstappen and a Racing Point. And Mick pits as well, so there we go, as expected.
Mick is in the pits, Mick in the pits.
That's about as far as those soft tyres were ever going to go. And suddenly we're now P9 in this race, and we've got still a few guys in the hard compound tyre ahead of us, so we're looking pretty good here. I'm liking this. The timing of this pit stop could be key for an undercut or an overcut, but we are right in the mix. They're all battling in front here, losing time. I'm liking this. Just got to keep it cool, take it easy, and do the right thing at the right time. Leclerc's past Gasly behind us, so we're now going to have a Ferrari approaching us very soon, which is not ideal. I'm struggling for that corner so much with understeer. Let's just try and stick with Seb's DRS here and stay within that 1 second window, which is exactly where we need to be. Our straight line speed is very good, which I'm really happy with. Car's very competitive on the straight, but let's see how things shake out. I'm waiting for a few more stops and things to kind of pan out. We're in a really awkward spot here between both Ferraris. As it looks like one of the Alfa Romeos are pitting. That's Antonio Giovinazzi. He was running really high up actually in the Alfa, and that up to P8 in this race. I can't lie, if Schumacher didn't take a ring change and it was just purely down to tyre performance and him just losing grip, if he's just on normal strategy, I think he could be on a really good strategy here, because this train of cars is going nowhere. You know, we're staying put here. There's a lot of people on hards and mediums who are still going for a few more laps yet, and that can make things very interesting actually, strategy-wise. And I think he could be actually getting a massive undercut on absolutely everybody here. So I'm going to keep an eye on it, but I'm really interested. Here comes Charles Leclerc in the meantime, though. We're not going to find him too hard. We know how fast the throw pay unit is in this game, so we'll let Leclerc get on with it. Although, to be fair, he's struggling to get the move done. And I'm not even in overtake mode. I'm just sitting here in standard. I'm going to try and hold this one, actually. I'll say that. Leclerc's absolutely sent it around the outside.
Be aware we expect the grip levels to start falling away soon.
Just get on with it, mate. I don't want to lose time battling if I can avoid it. I'm really tempted to go for an undercut. It's going to be a long stint on mediums, but I might try an undercut. I'm going to probably pit on this next lap. So at the end of this lap now, lap 11, I might try and box for the mediums and try my luck and see if we can make something happen. Well, let's see what everyone does then, strategy-wise. We will get DRS from the cars in front. Looks like no one's pitting. I'm going to chance it. I'm going to try my luck here on strategy. We're going to see if this pays off or not. We're going to really struggle for tyres at the end. It's going to be a big one. We might even have a puncture, I think. It could be pretty close. But if this pays off, this undercut is going to be insane. It's going to be so powerful. Here we go.
Go, go, go.
3.1 second stop.
Clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
We've rejoined just in front of our teammates, so there we go. Mick hasn't really produced much of an undercut, but still, if he can follow me, that'd be pretty cool. So we're now at the back. Here comes Mick again, actually. He's going to challenge me here. This is not what I had in mind. I'm trying to go for an undercut here, Mick. Sorry, mate. All right, let's go on with it. We need a big outlap here. Let's see what we've got in the tank. Okay, cars are pitting in, I think. Let's see how many. Let's see if the undercut has paid off. Looks like it's just 2 cars. There we go, that's Grosjean. I believe he was in the pack, so we've undercut Grosjean already. And there's still plenty of cars yet to pit, so let's push on with this. We can still get a few more, but this could be our chance for points. I want to even get past Latifi here. I'm going to keep my engine turned up. It is going to mean I'm going to use quite a bit of DRS, but if it means I just get DRS, which I have, we could get past the Williams here. I'm going to try to not use all of my overtake. If it means I pass him on the second straight. Oh, don't even need it. There we go. Didn't even need it. He pits in and does the job for us.
Some information on Giovinazzi. They're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
Oh, okay. He's in front of us. Giovinazzi's doing pretty damn well, actually. So, that is good news. Personal best from us. We're absolutely flying. Still waiting for those cars to pit. So, it still could go our way. You've got to be patient. Wait for the timing. There's a lot of cars on hard tyres yet to stop. And that's when we're going to hopefully fall into the points. Oh, yellow flag.
Caution, yellow flags ahead. No overtaking through the caution zone. Be careful until you see the greens. Full course caution. The safety car is out. Keep an eye on the delta. We need to keep it positive to avoid a penalty. Slow down. Maintain positive delta.
So Giovinazzi in the end is out. He had too many issues and had to retire. Do we box and put the soft tyres on? Oh, that's an awkward one. It's a long way to go on soft tyres. It really is. Assuming we go racing on lap 17. That's a long way to go. Do I take a chance? Oh, I don't know. You know, bad news about this. Our strategy has gone to absolute shit. The undercut has gone for nothing because this was the lap everyone was going to pit. So I think I'm just going to pit and get some soft tyres on. I think the delta's gone now, but this is worst case scenario. I'm going to pit for softs. I may as well. Got nothing to lose. Let's get into the pit lane. We're going to get no delta benefit, but it is what it is. To be fair, there was quite a few cars in the pit lane. We could have probably stayed out, but oh well, I've committed to this now, so oh well. let's just hope that it pays off. We're going to get some soft tyres on and hope for the best.
Go now.
2.9.
Only one stop to go. One stop left in this strategy.
We're going to have to put on an overtaking clinic here in the final part of the race to get anything out of this. Probably not points now. That chance is gone. That was the golden ticket. You know, like, we would have probably come out ahead. Well, not come out. We would have been ahead of all those cars that were in the pit lane. Even with the Delta. So, like, had there not been a safety car and no Delta, that was it. That was our golden ticket into the points. We did it beautifully, but the safety car just ruined it. And even then, even if I'd stayed out, my tyres were much more worn out than the others. I was banking on this undercut and building up a gap with the undercut so that I would be safe, but I would have lost that gap I would have built with the undercut anyway, so they would have been all over the back of me, so I don't mind this. Nothing to lose. Let's just go for it. Let's hope the tyres make it as well. Right then, boys, safety car in this lap. Let's get ready for the restart, which will be key. If we can time this right, we can get past Russell straight away. If we're running his gearbox, ready to go. Let's see if we can get something out of this. I'm going to try and get on the right-hand side, so I get a slipstream. There we go. It's go time. Overtake mode engaged. We'll hold back. Now we go. Now we can go. Let's try and get past straight away if we can. Oh, maybe not. We're going to convert that into a move on Gasly, but Russell with an absolute holy dive into turn 1. Wow. There goes my attempt to go by. At least we got past Gasly anyway. Let's see if we can get past Ocon here. Overtake mode engaged. Not making no progress. I've got no slipstream. These two are going to go side by side. This could get tasty. Oh my goodness me. There's contact. We're going to go for a little bit of a switch back through there. Oh, maybe not. A little bit of overtake. Can we get down the inside of Ocon? Yes, we can. Not Ocon. Russell, my bad. There we go. P17. All right, this is good. Got to use the fresh tyres to make the progress nice and quickly. Try and pick these off one by one. Oh, nice through there. Good exit from us. Only issue is we're actually still lacking a bit of straight line speed compared to the Renault. We are catching in the second phase of the straight, but by then it's too late. Just got to keep the pressure up. We'll force Ocon defensive here, I think. Only issue is this corner is not my strongest corner. One of my worst ones on the entire circuit. Again, we'll stay close. I'll try and save the overtake because we're going to need it. It's absolutely precious to us, the overtake mode. Right, now we can crank it up. Here we go. Let's use our straight line speed. Let's make some progress. No DRS just yet, so overtake mode is key. We'll try and get on the inside of Ocon here. We'll box him in. Oh, this is going to be pretty damn close. Down the inside of Grosjean, or Magnussen should I say. I was having a look. Slight bit of contact. Ocon's still there. Oh, that was close. Really worried about losing my front wing, but luckily we held on. Rear tyres are already going. Almost at 20% already. P16, let's keep going. Oh my god, I'm so much quicker. I want to use my tyres to get by. Just so much more grip everywhere at the minute. Nicely done through there. Let's see if we can get the line. Yes, we can. Overtake mode engaged. Come on, let's go. Got to turn the engine mode off here. Running out of space. Damn it, that was quite good from Magnussen on the brakes, to be fair. Keep the pressure on him though. Through the left-hander. Almost lose the front wing there. Right, here we go, we're nice and close. Exactly where we need to be. There's a bit of a gap forming in front of Mick Schumacher, so that's our slot. That's where we need to be. Ocon behind us looking for the move as well. He's actually trying it here, but there's no DRS just yet. Ocon has got some serious boost. I think my engine's overheating. That explains the lack of pace. We're going to pull to the outside here. Down towards turn 1.
Okay, the stewards have now enabled DRS. DRS is now online.
Contact. Ocon goes sideways. Magnussen as well. I don't know what happened there.
Okay, clear.
I had to turn in. Simple as that. Here we go then. Let's get past our teammate. Easy does it out there. Now we'll crank it up into rich mix. Short shift to avoid overheating. Engine is in a bit better condition than last time round. We'll get the slingshot on our teammate and the DRS on the Haas for good measure. We'll cut off the overtake. I don't want to use too much of it. We'll try and save some for some future overtakes. But there we go. We're past Mick now. Up at the P14.
Box. We're coming in this lap.
Jeff, you're drunk, mate. There is no way we're pitting. We're going to the finish, boy. Right, here we go. Let's make a move on Grosjean. He's dropped off massively from the McLaren, so this should be an easy one for us. I don't even think he'll have DRS, to be fair. Sebastian Vettel, new fastest lap, 41.3. We're not a million miles away from that, to be fair. I think if I'd had a clean track, we could have achieved that. But then again, it wouldn't have counted because we're not in the top 10. But there we go. We're through P13. There's a few cars up ahead. Points still look a little bit distant, unfortunately. But you never know. Never give up. There could still be issues. There could still be retirements. Here we go. We're going to try and get past the hero of the Austrian and Styrian Grand Prix, Lando Norris. Let's see if we can make light work of him. Struggling in my rear tyres now, though. I was on for a fastest lap. I was half a second up at one point this lap, which would have put me right on target. But, oh my god, Lando getting loose there. Big moment for him. We're going to use that to get the momentum here and get past the McLaren driver. DRS, there we go. We don't need overtake. We can save what we have left for future overtake. We're now P12 in the race. Another personal best. Slowly making that progress. Tyres still hanging in there. Right rear, sorry. 49%. Getting to a bit of a risky state, but we'll keep pushing. Kvyat up next. There's a big battle in front of him. I'm struggling in my rears now. 62 right rear. This is going to be so marginal, I can't even describe. Like, we're going to be in big trouble. I've got to try and drive as smooth as I can and hope I hold on to the tyre, because that exit at the final corner on the last lap and the run to the line could prove to be key, and having ERS in reserve will also be very key. So this is going to go down to the wire here, if I even make it to the last lap, that is. I'm out of ERS. I tried to use it to close in on DRS and the cars in front, but it's backfired on me. I just feel like I'm running out of everything just 2 laps too early, unfortunately. That's part of the risk we took. We're not going to make it, boys. A lap and a half to go. Left rear is on 71%. This is panic stations now. You may not even finish the race. What could have been. My car's sliding all over the place now. It's really hard to hold on to the rear tyre. It really is. It's not happening, boys. I'm dropping off now. I've lost my rear tyre. This is going to be about survival. Last lap. I need the guys in front to have a big battle. Absolutely massive battle. And just hope that something happens. But the rears are gone. 78%. That's it. We've hit the cliff. And they're on the outside. I'm trying to drive smoothly, but this is it. It's done. Oh, man. Everything went wrong today in the race. The safety car messed up my strategy. I was convinced I was going to get points. I gambled on the soft tyre. Backfired. I should have pit 1 lap later for the softs, but even then. Oh, no. This is all done now, boys. I've got no ERS left. I forgot to turn it off. I've had it in overtake mode the whole lap. It's all completely gone wrong. If I can just make the finish, we'll take the finish. We'll take the flag. We're still looking for a good position. I'm just trying to really concentrate here. Rear tyre, hold on, please, 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 please. Grosjean looking for the move. My car's going to go through here if I'm not careful. Oh, I'm sliding. The rear end's not wanting to commit. Alright, there we go then. We might be able to re-challenge Grosjean here. Last bit of the ERS. What's the tyre on? 84%. My goodness me. Across the line though, it is what it is.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
It's never an easy race here in Azerbaijan. There's drama around every corner, but they've come through to take a brilliant win here today. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
It was a question of right place, right time today. We were looking at an entirely different race before the safety car came out, but they were able to take full advantage after the field had been bunched up.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again.
Oh man, guys, we tried it, but We just ran out at the end. It's a real shame, but it is what it is. Hamilton picks up the win ahead of Bottas, making it a 1-2 for Mercedes. Vettel third, Leclerc fourth with the fastest lap, ahead of Raikkonen, P5 for Alfa Romeo. That is a massive blow. After our brilliant performance in Monaco, Raikkonen's result means Alfa Romeo will overtake us once again, which is really, really annoying. It only lasted one race. Verstappen P6, Perez P7, Ricciardo, Stroll, Sainz running up the points. And missing out the points, we have Kvyat, Norris, Ocon, Grosjean, myself, Gasly, Magnussen, Schumacher ahead of both of the Williams cars, and Giovinazzi and Albon out of the race here today. In terms of what that means though for the standings, we dropped to 13th as Raikkonen overtakes us once again. He's up to P12, which is unfortunate. Hamilton takes the lead in the championship, 2 points clear of his teammate, and Sebastian Vettel overtakes Charles Leclerc. In terms of the constructors, we are back down to 8th place, which is a real shame, but we'll just have to keep fighting, guys, keep pushing. But this weekend as a whole was an opportunity missed. You know, qualifying, there was much more pace there, the potential was so good, and the race as well, we had it. The strategy was there. We had it, and it just got away from us. So it is a shame, but guys, that is it for this one here today at Baku. We're now going to move into the laptop and look at things as we head into the next race at Canada, I believe.
You really cut your way through the field today. What was your strategy?
Pretty much just going flat out, to be honest. We tried our best, you know, strategy. Didn't work, but I've got to give credit to the engine. The engine was great today.
You really looked in control of your car out there. Your team must be thrilled.
Hopefully they are. I mean, we tried our best as a team, but yeah, credit to them as well for helping us out.
You had a close battle today, didn't you?
Yeah, it was pretty close, but luckily for us, we, you know, we gave him a good run for money. I'm not actually sure now if we finished ahead of him. I think we finished behind, didn't we? Which is a shame, but we're definitely pushing.
You left a lot of paint on the walls today. Were you struggling for grip, or did you just misjudge some corners?
I mean, it was a lot of things, but I don't remember hitting any walls. I had a lot of sideways moments, but I don't hit any walls.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Right, so here we have the rivalry breakdown, and it's 3-3 for myself and Grosjean. We're now only 2 points away from winning the rivalry, which is great news. So we're almost there. In terms of Team Acclaim, we're now up to level 6 as our driver, which is great. We're both gaining 12% each, and that is a combined total of 24%, which means we now move up to level 8 as a team. So we are really pushing on here, and we are closing down level 10, of course, which would give us that new sponsor slot as well, which is great. Unfortunately, we missed out on the DSB Optics target. I really thought we'd have it here today, but unfortunately, the way the strategy worked out, it wasn't to be, and we get a nice little cash bonus as well. So in the end, it's not too bad, but it could have been a lot better. Okay, so here we are then on the laptop, and it's currently the 8th of June, and the Canadian Grand Prix is only 3 days away, so we don't have much of a turnaround period, which is a bit unfortunate, and also, you know, no real time for upgrades. But let's go to the activities tab. So we literally got 2 days, that's all we've got, so we're going to have a little look and see what we can do. So we've got a reaction training for Mick for better awareness, driver promotion filming, which is only 1 day, so probably not that one because we want something to fill the 2 days, aero team building, and then a sponsor event for a fundraiser. So it's a complicated one, but I think I'm going to go for reaction training. Again, if we can improve Mick, we've got a stronger chance of, you know, getting points. So I feel that's going to help us out quite a lot. In terms of R&D though, let's have a look and see what we can do. We do have a chassis upgrade on the way that should arrive tomorrow. So that hopefully will be on the car in time for the Canadian Grand Prix. Let's look at the upgrades though. So most departments are empty. We do now have a few major ones starting to become available to us now, which is great. So we have this major one here for drag reduction, and I'm tempted to spend all my points on this, to be fair. This could help us out quite a lot. So I'm going to throw that on there. Hopefully it will arrive. We are going to miss a few races, but hopefully it'll be in time for the mid-season more or less, and that will help us out quite a lot. We're also going to upgrade some facilities. I feel like we could push on in certain areas quite a bit. So it's tempting. I'm not sure where I want to go though. Looking at the options, again, the one that's for personnel is going to make Mick a much better driver, and that is ultimately what it's all about. Looking at the options, to be fair, analysis suite is only 1 million. That's pretty cheap, so I'm going to throw that on there as well and dash that in because that's not too bad. And we've still got 2.3 million left over, so we'll hold on to that money and we'll try and build up over the next episode. So hopefully that does come through. But now we're going to advance on the calendar and we're going to move forward into the next race. Right, so here we are then. We're ready for the Canadian Grand Prix. The bad news is, unfortunately, the upgrade that was scheduled for the chassis has failed. So we've got the exact same car for yet another race. We are now bottom of the chassis chart, so we are going to have to start prioritizing this part of the car. We need to put in some work because we're really struggling. You know, we're mid-table in the engine, we're mid-table, approaching mid-table with the aerodynamics, but the chassis is really struggling, so we need to work on this. We need to get these three here. This row of three is going to be really, really key. So we're going to work on that over the next couple of races to try and balance that out a little bit. But yeah, overall, guys, that's the situation heading into the next race at Canada. If you guys enjoyed this video, though, drop me a like and subscribe, guys, if you are new for daily Formula 1 content on the channel. And also, guys, click the bell icon to be notified when new content does go live. And also, finally, guys, check out the 2 videos on your screen right now if you have missed them. But that is it from me here today for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And I'll see you all next time for the Canadian Grand Prix. But until then, it's goodbye from me.